Hello students, welcome to today's class. We will continue our lesson from our previous lesson. We are doing fractions today as well. Last week we did how we can simplify our fractions when we have big numbers or big fractions, how we can simplify them, okay? Today we are looking at a different aspect of fractions, which is adding and subtracting of fractions. So we'll go straight into our board and then we'll see how we can handle adding and that of subtracting with fractions, okay? Good. So over here we have 5 examples on our board that we're going to look at how we can deal with them. So we are doing adding and subtracting of fractions, okay? We have 5/6 and then we have 1/3. We are supposed to add this fraction to that of the other fraction. Whenever you are dealing with addition or subtraction of fractions, the most important thing is you check your denominators, that is the numbers at the bottom of your fraction, okay? So you make sure that you have the same denominators. If the denominators are different, the rules doesn't allow you to be adding up. So now we have 6 here and we have 3 here, so they are not the same. So what we have to do is we have to change our 3 so that it becomes same as 6, because we cannot reduce the 6 but we can increase our 3 to be 6. So what we do is we have to multiply here by 2. Whatever you do to the denominator, you do the same thing to the numerator. So we also multiply here by 2, okay? So this side is going to change to be 2 and then this side is going to be changed to be 6. So now we have 6 here and we have 6 here. So we can continue our equation to be 5 plus 2 and then we put our 6 here. So we have 5 plus 2/6 and that is going to give us 7/6, okay? So this is how you should do it. You should always make sure your denominators are the same. When they are the same, then you can do your calculation so easily. Okay, our second example, we are fortunate to have the same denominators, so which means we don't have to change anything, so we can go straight and do our addition. So we are adding the top ones, which becomes 7 plus 5 all over 8. Okay, so we have 7 plus 5 all over 8. So that will give us, we'll have 12/8. So we have 12/8, but we can still reduce our fraction here because there is a figure that can divide 12 and that can divide 8 as well, right? So we'll choose 4 instead of choosing 2, which is a smaller number, because if you choose 2, we'll go through a couple of steps to do. So we'll choose 4. So 4 will divide here by 3 and we'll divide here by 2. So our answer is going to be 3/2. Okay, so we reduce this one to this level. Okay, now let's look at our third example. We have a mixed fraction that we need to add to an improper fraction, okay? So we have to change this mixed fraction to a proper fraction or improper fraction before we can continue with our addition. So to change this one, we have to multiply 5 by 1 and then we add the result to 2 over here. So it's going to be 5 times 1 plus 2, okay? So that is the effect that we're going to make to this particular equation. So this is going to change to 5, it's going to change to 7/5 plus 3/2. So our new equation is going to be over 2. So we do this equation so that we change this whole thing into this fraction. Okay, so that is how we handle that one. Okay, so now we have 5 and 2, so which means we need to change our 2 to be same as 5 before we can go ahead and do our addition. So is it really possible to change our 5 and 2 to have the same thing? No, so we choose a common number, so which means we have to change this to 10 and then we also change this to 10 so that they're all going to have a common denominator. Okay, so we multiply 2 to 5 and then we multiply 2 to 7. We'll multiply here 5 so that we can get 10 and then we multiply 5 as well. Whatever number you use to multiply here, use the same number to multiply at the top. The number you use to multiply here, you do the same thing over the top. So this is how our new equation is going to be. Our new equation is going to be 14 over 10 plus, this is going to give us 15 over 10. So you see now we have the same denominators. So once we have the same denominators, we can easily do what? Do add up. So we can have now 29 over 10. So we have 29 over 10 over here. There is no number that can divide 29 and divide your 10. So you have to stay over here like that. Okay? Okay. So let's see the other one. Now we have the same. So this we subtract. This is subtraction, it's not addition. So we have to subtract this from this. So it becomes 4 minus 3 over 5, and that will give us 1 over 5. Okay? Like that. Okay, so over here we have 2 and 4. So we have to change our 2 to be same as 4. So we multiply here by 2 and we multiply here by 2. Okay? So we'll get 8 here and then we'll get 4 here. So our new equation is going to be 8 minus 6. So let's put all under because this is 4 and then this becomes 4. Okay? So this will be equal to 2 over 4 and this is equal to 1 over 2. So this is how we deal with addition and subtraction of fractions. You always have to make sure that you have your denominators the same and then you can go ahead and do the equation from the top. Okay. Now we go to our first activity for this lesson. You have your questions from exercise 7.5. You do questions 1 up to 4. You'll find this at page 81 of the learner's book. You complete all questions there, then you send for me to check for you. Thank you for joining this section. I'll see you on our second video. Welcome to our second video on our lesson, adding and subtracting fractions. Our lesson is from Unit 7. We did some few examples about how we can handle our fractions whenever we are adding them up. I'm sure that you've taken all the clues out on how you can do your addition and then how you can do your subtraction. The key thing is that your denominators are supposed to be the same and then you can add or subtract the numerators straight away. When you also have a mixed fraction, you have to change your mixed fraction into a proper or improper fraction before you can do either your subtraction or you can do your addition. We have our second activity on this video for this lesson. So I want you to do the end of unit review. You are doing questions 1 till 10. Actually, there are 11 questions there, but we will limit ourselves to 1 to 10. So we are doing 1 to 10. You can find this review exercise or task at page 85 of the learner's book. Okay, so page 85 of the learner's book, we do end of unit review on fractions. Okay, and then you send for checking. Thank you for joining this session. I'll see you on our final and third video to end fractions with you. Take care. Hello class, welcome to our final and third video on our lesson fractions. Today we have looked at adding and subtracting fractions, okay? And we have done 5 examples of them. We have to remember that whenever we are doing fractions, we are adding the top numbers, which is the numerators, but our denominator, which is the down numbers, are supposed to be the same. So changing them to the same, you look at which numbers that you can multiply with that of the denominator and that of the numerator, so that it changes to the same as the other fraction that you have. And then you can do your addition or you can do your subtraction afterwards, okay? Again, when you have a mixed number, you need to change your mixed fraction into a proper or improper fraction, and then you can do your addition or your subtraction to that effect. Lastly, what you also have to keep in mind is that whenever you have a fraction like this, you have to always reduce it to the smallest units, okay? You need to simplify it. So once you simplify your fraction, it makes it very easy for you to understand, okay? So don't always forget to reduce or simplify your fractions. I believe that you've enjoyed the first and the second session, and this third section too, you are still enjoying your lesson on fraction. We will complete our lesson today by having our homework activity. So we are doing exercise at pages 43 and that of 44. There are actually 2 exercises there. So we have exercise 7.4 going for page 43, and then we have exercise 7.5 going for page 44. You are supposed to answer all questions there. This exercise is at the challenge book session of our textbook. I hope to see you again next week on math class. Enjoy your stay at home. Goodbye.